This week on the Jock and Nerd podcast, Peter Kendall and Katie McGraw, hosts of the gaming podcast, The Weekly Jump, join us to geek out about WandaVision Episode 5.
Geek boner.
We got a new trailer for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Keanu Reeves may have been offered a Spider-Man villain role. And Lil Uzi Vert has come up with a new way to waste millions of dollars.
What?
All that and more in this edition of the Jock and Nerd Weekly for Monday, February 8th, 2021.
This is Jason Mewes, and for reasons best left between you and your therapist, you're listening to the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Snooch to the nooch. Check. Check one. All right. This is for all you fans out there. Let's give it up.
Jock it, we nerd it. We funny, disturb it. We jock it, we nerd it. We spoiler alert. Oh yeah!
Hello and welcome to the Jock and Nerd Podcast, where we give you comic book and superhero TV and movie news, reviews, and whatever we choose. Jock and Nerd. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
And he's a nerd.
And joining us fresh off his halftime performance at the Puppy Bowl while he was wearing a diaper on his head, it's Rug Boy. What's up, Rugs?
Yeah, I wanted to be like The Weeknd. I wanted to have something on my face that was obscuring it.
What, can we call you the weekday and you just wear a diaper on your head? Will that work? And a red jacket?
Yeah, it's got a piss stain on it. Though.
Yeah, I thought that was you. I saw.
Do you come up with that stuff prior? Like, what do you do, Imran? How do you, is this all off the top of the head or do you write it down?
I have a method.
Yeah.
Look, I could take 10 minutes early to what kind of stupid relevant thing can I come up with right before the show starts?
No, that was a clever one. That was one of your
thanks.
best ones.
Oh, my
Yeah.
God.
Oh,
A compliment from Anthony. I think we should end the show here. That's it. This is the last Jock and Nerd episode. We'll see you next time. No, also joining us, two very, very special guests from the gaming website, How Do I Jump? Hosts of The Weekly Jump. It's Peter Kendall, Katie McGraw. How's it going, guys?
Hey, hello, Jock and Nerd
It's
Nation.
good.
I don't know what you call your people.
That's
Jock and
it.
Nerders.
That's it.
Jock and Nerd.
I think it's the nation. That's our Facebook
He's
group.
still on the How Do I Jump thing?
Well,
Yep.
let's start right there. Peter
We're
Kendall.
still on the Jock and Nerd thing.
We're still on the Jock and Nerd.
But he took a break.
I feel called out. Fucking call out culture.
I just don't
on my
understand
podcast.
what's going on. I
look,
want to know.
I will have Peter explain what the show is real quick. But we have a long history with Peter Kendall. Some of the longtime listeners may remember him. Here's the backstory so far. Peter Kendall's first appearance on the Jock and Nerd podcast, episode 20,
Oh, shit.
June of 2015.
Oh, shit.
Do you want the topic? That episode, Tom Holland had just been fucking cast as Spider-Man.
Oh, of course you brought me on for that, yeah.
Isn't that crazy? And then you were on a couple times. Your last appearance, Jock
my
and
God.
Nerd episode 98 in May of 2016, and then tragically lost at sea shortly thereafter.
Castaway.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did the
He
Tom
was
Hanks
talking to a
Castaway
freaking
thing.
basketball for a while.
Yeah, it was named Spalding because Wilson would have been a copyright infringement. Peter, can you tell the listener real quick, what is the Weekly Jump about and who would enjoy it?
Yeah, so we are, How Do I Jump? I've always enjoyed reading about video games and knowing about what's coming out, and I've always been known as the guy, like people always ask me, hey, what's this game I heard about? And I wanted to do a weekly wrap-up show, so if you know about games and you're generally interested in games, but you don't entirely either have the time or the interest of reading long articles like we read all the time, and you want to know what's going on and what you should play. We also specialize in indie games. So we like to pop up games that you may never have heard of or never even would have considered playing. So yeah, video game wrap-up
That's
news.
pretty rad. Every week we talk about the forefront of gaming news.
Mhm.
If you heard of Game Stonks, we talked about that. But yeah, what's cool about the website is every week we have writers and we pop up articles every day about weird indie games you may never heard of, and it's really nice to draw attention to the independence of the industry.
The fun weird games.
Yeah, so that's what we're doing.
You guys are great at shouting those out, and every time I'm on the show, I get turned on to some fun new games. And
Someone asked them about the game that they had to recall.
What, Cyberpunk?
You don't want to get
Yeah.
into Cyberpunk 2077. It's going to be a whole thing.
Yeah, no, we did a
It's gonna be a whole thing.
Cyberpunk episode, yeah.
That's like
Did you
hours.
complete the story?
I did. I played on Google Stadia.
Oh, you played it on Stadia. That's right.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
And Google Stadia had a very stable build. I had problems. I had glitches, but the short story is I didn't have any problems that I was not expecting from like those massive Titanic open world games like Skyrim or The Witcher or something like that. Like, glitches were around, but I was able to finish it.
Yeah, I played it on PC.
Yeah.
And I'm at the point where I could finish the game if I want to, but I got a bunch of side stuff that I got to finish.
That's always the
Yep.
first.
Yeah, that's it. And you'll never get to that last
I can finish
mission.
anytime I want.
I can stop whenever I want, dude.
It's too
So,
deep.
but I didn't have any game breakers. I had like maybe like 2-3 different points where like it just stopped and then kicked the camera outside of the level I was at.
Yeah.
And shit like that. But like otherwise, it was not that bad of an experience.
Yeah.
I
The
mean,
main complaints seem to be coming from the last gen consoles, and I have not played anything on like PS4 or Xbox One. So, and those were apparently the experiences where people were having like game breaking bugs every 3 seconds. But I can't personally speak to those.
real quick, I have a question.
Sure.
Indie games. Can you throw out like 2 or 3 indie games? I mean, I know Hades is big right now.
Oh yeah.
What other 2 that do you think are worth noting?
One that we just played, I'd like to plug this one because it was a lot of fun. We just played it on our YouTube channel, which is How Do I Play, where we do Let's Plays of indie games.
Fun.
But it's Call of the Sea by
Yeah.
Out of the Blue Games, and it was like, I want to say like, it was an adventure puzzle game, but it was a lot of fun and a really cool story. So Call of the Sea was really good if you like that kind of mist style gameplay.
First person adventure puzzle with a really good story and an ending that broke our hearts
Aw.
really hard. And to get a little bit obscure, this is going to be launching. We're going to be writing about this on our website, I think on Wednesday. There's this website called itch.io. It is the indiest of indies. People literally, like, if you, Rug Boy, want to develop a game, you can just upload it on itch.io and
make
people
a
can just
Rug Boy
download
game.
it.
Yes.
Yeah, you can make
Yeah.
Rug Boy the game and just upload it on there, and people can download it for free or give you a little bit of cash if they want to. It's very, very indie. And there's a really cool horror game made in the vein of like old school Game Boys, like
Oh,
Game
cool.
Boy Color era.
Yeah.
It's I can't exactly pronounce it, but I think it's Deadus, Deadaus, Deadus, and it's a really cool like indie horror side-scrolling adventure. But in like the fact that it's Game Boy and like the way indie developers can like do so much with such limited resources is really impressive.
Cool.
Solid indie
Boom,
tip.
boom, there's your 2.
For
Yeah.
your listener. I know because I know we have a lot of listeners that are gamers and we really talk about games. So that is awesome that you guys can give us that. And
We found someone that has more energy than Imran.
oh boy, well, you know
At least
what?
today.
Mondays, I'm finding to bring my energy on a Monday. We've just moved our recording days. It's a little bit tough. I'm working on it.
This isn't a criticism again, Imran. It's man, he's got no confidence whatsoever. This is just propping up Peter Kendall's
Yeah.
energy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'll take over the whole
We
podcast
didn't
if you want. We'll
sleep-
keep
You
it going.
can.
We didn't
Please
sleep
do.
at all last night
No,
because
we
we have a
didn't.
4-month-old kitten. So I think that's why we're just going off pure adrenaline right
Yes.
now.
You're
That
like
wired
you're
energy.
sleep. Yeah, you're just loony right now, probably.
Yeah,
man.
as soon as the episode's over, we are asleep on this couch.
They're gonna crash
instantly.
Let's get through this. Rugs, my sister is learning coding. I can have her maybe whip up a little Rug Boy game.
The Rug Boy game is just
yeah.
Right?
It's just watching movies and masturbating and drinking heavily.
That should be- that's
those are the three things that you do.
Easy enough to code.
To be honest with you, there's a lot of really cool, sad indie games that you do shit like that. I love sad, weird indie games, and I would play your game.
It would be like Cyberpunk without, but it would just all be prostitution the whole time.
Oh, one quick last plug. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. You would be interested in this. It's called Watch Me Stream My Mental Breakdown.
Oh.
It's about a Twitch streamer like trying to become a professional Twitch streamer while disappointing his parents and failing to make rent. It's delightful, and if you want inspiration to your game, Rug Boy, I'd try that out.
Okay.
That needs to be like a new Netflix
I think
show.
I'm living it right now. Disappointing my parents. Yeah, I did that. All right.
The game is very
Check
real.
all that off the list. Yeah.
Excellent. Look, good gaming tips right off the top. Let's get into a couple of newsy things. There was a big event yesterday. Marvel put out a trailer, and built a whole sporting event around this trailer. It's weird. It's a weird way to show a trailer. Why you got to have the sporting? Just show me the trailer. Of course, I'm talking about the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Before we get into thoughts, Katie, Peter, it's been a long time since I talked to you, Peter, about the MCU. How invested are you guys in the current MCU right now?
We blasted through all of WandaVision recently. The thing is, with Endgame and then the quarantine starting, like it seems like it was this weird, very like natural like stop for everybody because like there was a large gap before like any Marvel content came out. So right now I am excited and hesitant. Okay. It feels like as I was reading comics, it's like there is so much different weird stuff coming out, and I am now scared that I can't consume all of it. And I don't know. I think I'm going to start getting picky and choosy with the MCU if it's not Spider-Man. I'm going to watch everything Spider-Man.
Katie, how about you? How invested are you? You watched everything?
I've seen about, I want to say like 3.5 Marvel films.
You slept through Ultron.
Well, the Avengers movies. I've seen about, my friends invited me to a midnight showing and I was like, yeah, I'll go. And like having seen the first one like a while back, and then I fell asleep at one point and woke up and everyone was fighting and I was like, oh, what happened?
That's the best part.
But I'm caught up on that saga, but I like Spider-Man because he likes Spider-Man. So I've seen all those. But I like it. I think it's cool. Yeah. I don't know all of the intricate details that people know. Like we were watching WandaVision, he was like, "Oh, look, that thing is a reference to that thing," and I was like, "Okay."
Just wait.
This will be good then. We got someone that's more casual.
Yeah, I love that.
That can check us and not get as nerdy.
I do love that perspective. I think it's important because we're on the inside so much. Well, look, let's start with the nerdy. Anthony, what'd you think of this first trailer for Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I don't think it's. I think it's a second trailer.
Is it the second? Is it?
Yeah, we saw a trailer during the Investor Day. Remember?
Yeah, but this one says official. They didn't say. Okay, maybe it's second trailer. It's a longer trailer.
Anyways,
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. It's more. It's one of those things where you watch it and you go, "This is a Disney Plus show." I thought this was a movie.
Yeah, it looks like a Marvel.
The way it's just filmed and the way the action looks. So looks good, and I'm glad to see. Zemo is going to be in this again. And
yes.
They're playing up. It's like a buddy cop comedy action thriller.
Espionage
type thing.
thriller, yeah.
So we'll see how. And then I did read some things that they're going to tackle, like race issues and things along those lines. So it could be a little deeper than what we're seeing in the trailer.
Oh, Rug Boy, what did you think? What did you think of the action? Some of the fight scenes looked pretty intense and up to par with what we've seen.
When Falcon swoops underneath the trucks, that's pretty sick. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I like the little shot of Zemo's mask.
The mask is great.
They're playing U.S. agent really close to the vest, though. They haven't really exposed that or even shown the guy's face at all.
There's a dude in the Captain America costume, clearly.
Yeah, well, it's Kurt Russell's. I think it's
Wyatt Russell,
kid.
who will be U.S. agent.
They haven't shown him at all, so they're keeping that kind of little secret there as much as possible. So there's going to be some surprises. I think it's going to be good. It looks like the production value is there, so I'm all dialed in for that. I can't wait for it to start. So I'd like to see a high action show.
Peter, this thing has action and comedy bits too that I thought worked, like the staring contest. It's funny and it's weird that they're in therapy together. What is your take? What'd you think of this?
Keep it rolling. We didn't watch the trailer, sadly.
Sorry to come prepared, guys.
Did not. Sorry about that.
Katie, who is sexier, Sebastian Stan or any of the Chris's?
What about Anthony Mackie?
Or Anthony Mackie?
Listen, I can give you a little insight here. Because Sebastian Stan was on Gossip Girl, which I did watch.
He's
so I can tell you,
sexy.
He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah.
He is.
He is. He's hunky.
What do you think about Anthony Mackie? Since Imran, I guess, just doesn't want to include the main star of the show when he asks.
Oh yeah, I guess the Falcon does get the top billing too. What are your thoughts on Anthony Mackie?
Anthony Mackie.
Yeah.
Next question.
He plays the Falcon.
He plays the Falcon.
He's the black guy playing the Falcon.
He was on Altered Carbon. He has huge arms. There you go. He's got ginormous arms as well.
Yes, but everyone in the MCU does.
They do. They're on the Marvel diet. There is some Easter eggs. There's a shot of Madripoor in here, guys, which is an X-Men location.
Yes.
I love seeing, like you said, Zemo and him mentioning, I got to finish my plan. You know, his plan, Captain America Civil War, was to just take apart the Avengers from the inside. He kind of did it. He doesn't think he's done, so what the fuck is he going to do now? That's going to be great. And then you see Sharon Carter, which is also great, Agent 13.
And who's the girl with the mask on?
Oh, that is like some, I don't know who that girl is, but they're called Sons of the Flag or some group that Baron Zemo is possibly going to manipulate to cause some chaos or something.
At one point, he said you got beat up by a girl, and I'm like, oh, who's the girl?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't know who that
is. It that girl with the mask on?
I don't know.
Are we going to be dealing with some patriotic extremists?
You know what?
It's going to be some interesting subject matter.
You know what? If they may be going there, which is going to be wild, considering this show was supposed to come out before WandaVision, it got flipped. And then also, I want to know if Sam's going to take, did they give him the super soldier serum? If he's going to be Captain America, they got more of that serum. He's going to have to take the serum.
I thought the whole point of the serum also is that they lost it and they couldn't make more caps.
Yeah, so I don't know how does he become Captain America?
Yeah.
I think he eats him. He
eats
gains his power that way or something.
It goes into the Chew universe. He has a little bite of Captain America. Anthony, what did you make of Sam catching the shield? Like, I know it's edited weird, like Falcon threw it and then Sam
that's a weird
caught
edit.
it. But why? Are they trying to say, like, is he going to fight him for the mantle of Captain America?
Yeah, I don't know what they're getting at with that. I mean, I thought it was already kind of established that Falcon was the next Cap, and then they edit it where he throws it. He's clearly throwing it at the tree, and then all of a sudden
Bucky catches it.
Bucky catches it.
I thought that was weird.
I think it's just it's just playful editing to set up the conflict between these two and them not being friends.
And Marvel's really good at also specifically editing their trailers to throw things off all the time.
Yes, they leave things out, they put things in, they're very shady, very shifty. You got to keep your eye on them.
Keep an eye on those Marvel.
Those Marvel people, what are you doing?
Listener, let us know what you think. Join the conversation. You can join our Facebook group. It's called Jock and Nerd Nation. And if you want a place to talk about WandaVision in a spoiler fashion, we'll have spoiler threads of every episode of WandaVision on Fridays. Lots of fun. Here is a piece of news I put in specifically for Peter Kendall. It combines many things I think you'll have an opinion on there, Peter.
Ooh.
Headline, Spider-Man 3-star Tom Holland describes Uncharted as a prequel to Naughty Dog's video game series. So, as you've heard, Tom Holland is playing the Drake.
You just got to bring me on every time Tom Holland has a new story.
Anytime Tom Holland has a new story, Peter Kendall comes on, also starring Mark Wahlberg, directed by Ruben Fleischer, this movie who's done all the Zombielands and Venom. And he shot this movie last year, and it isn't coming out until a year from this month. But what are you guys' thoughts on the Uncharted movie to begin with?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
When we were first, there were whispers of you got to stay inside, you can't do anything. We played all 4 Uncharted games like back to back in like 3 weeks. And I really enjoyed them. I love Tom Holland. Yeah. I'm super fucking excited about it.
I was once called gatekeepy with my opinions on the Uncharted movie by a certain lady here. Because I don't know. I'm confused and concerned, and I'm curious. Confused, concerned, and curious is my description. And gatekeepy. Because they did his origin youth story. How is this going to be a prequel? Is he going to be a baby? Like we saw Teen Drake. We saw.
Yeah, but we only saw a few specific times.
Yeah, are there gaps? Are there gaps in there they could play in?
There's many more adventures too.
I'm gonna want to see him jumping around and open up big, ancient, dusty doors. Yes, I'm gonna want to watch that and making quips. Yeah, we'll see. I want to watch it. Tom Holland's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's gonna kind of riff off the Thief's End beginning, where he's like a little kid and with his brother, getting him into trouble and stuff. So,
is there any mention of a brother in like the cast lists or anything? I don't know if they're going that route even, or he might already be an orphan and know Sully and everything.
You don't think that he's going to have a shitty brother that gets him in trouble?
We didn't see the shitty brother till 4. There were flashbacks to him in 3 when he first met Sullivan, and I feel like that might be where the movie's going.
Because they get separated when they're little. Right?
Yeah, because he thinks he's dead, and then he re-meets him much later on.
Maybe they aged him up. Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing. Mark Wahlberg's going to be in it, and he's going to smoke a very large cigar.
I would would imagine, if it's a great IP, you can do so much with it.
Yeah.
I would imagine they're just going to do a unique standalone story with the characters, I would think.
Yeah.
And I think that's smart, you know?
They did they released an image of it. I think we talked about it a while back.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Well, no, an image also of just like a map and like old things that they were going to do their own like original story. I forget who they were referencing, and they were referencing some old Explorer and stuff. They're doing their own thing, and he's gonna punch people. Oh, I wonder if he's gonna effortlessly kill hundreds of people like he does in the games.
Probably.
Well, he's a
People are
killer.
gonna have
isn't he?
problems with
Probably
it.
not. Probably not. It just feels like this is baby Nathan.
Well, I also
Not-
know his hair better not move that entire. His hair should be solid and never move.
Antonio Banderas in an uncredited role in this movie. They haven't. There's no cast name for him, but he is in it.
He'd be really weird playing his brother. That'd
Yeah,
be
I
really
don't
weird.
think that's the brother, but
They don't look related at all.
also will be
That'd
in
be
there.
very, very strange.
So you don't mind them not? You don't want to see something from the game because you already seen it. Make something new. They can play inside the thing. Should be
Yeah,
good.
do your own thing with it. Like, video game movies have a pretty bad track record
Yes,
already.
they
Yeah,
do.
no, that's true.
So if you're going to do your own thing with it, do your own thing with it.
And it's a nice little Indiana Jones-esque
Yeah.
excuse for a big action movie.
Yep.
I think it'll be fun.
I do. I did love how they released all the Uncharted games on PlayStation for free because of the pandemic. They were like, "Here's all the Uncharted games." I did download all of them and started playing them. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, we were playing the collection. That's what we did.
Yeah.
It was totally free. I was like, "This is great."
The final
good
DLC's
time.
not free. The final, like, add-on DLC
Oh.
with the two girls.
Oh, it's because the ladies.
Because it's ladies. Sony, what's up?
Like, there's ladies in the Uncharted. I did not
Pink
know this.
tax.
So this kind of rolls into the next story, more sort of Spider-Man universe related. I guess this is a big rumor, but it's a fun rumor to discuss. Apparently, there's a rumor that Keanu Reeves has been offered the lead role as Kraven in Sony's Kraven the Hunter movie, which is part of their Sony Picture Universe of Marvel Characters universe, which is separate from the MCU, which is very exhausting to say in the long term. And I remember a while ago, there were stories that Keanu Reeves was in talk with, I thought he was in talk with Marvel, with Disney and Marvel for a role.
I mean, everyone talks to Keanu. He's awesome.
Yes,
he's
Keanu
everywhere.
is great.
Chat with him about anything you want.
Ruggs, John Wick as Kraven, what do you think? Can this work?
I don't think it's a good idea.
No?
I really don't. I mean, I think I love Keanu, but if he's only if he lame, like Craven's got the accent and he's notoriously bad at accents. If you ever watch Dracula, it's
Hell
the
yeah.
worst.
Yeah.
It's the worst accent you've ever heard. I'm sure he could do it if he really I don't think he wants to do it that much. Maybe he's like, hell yeah, I want to play Kraven, but I don't know. He is a badass. I mean, he's fucking John Wick. He'd be great, but
it only works when he doesn't have any lines at all.
you just can't say anything.
Or just one line. Those movies are amazing.
I like the mix. I like Craven. I like Keanu. I like them having them in Marvel.
Yeah.
I just don't like that Sony's doing it.
This
So,
is the Sony side. Can he even...
But the fact that Sony's behind this makes me go, oh, like that's what we're wasting Keanu on. We're doing him as Craven. We could do Craven with someone else
Carl
and
Urban.
Keanu in a better
I think
role.
Carl Urban would be an amazing...
Carl Urban would be a
Kraven.
killer Kraven. You're right.
And Peter, you imagine you want them to do the Kraven's Last Hunt storyline, but if you're in Sony's universe where they don't even have a Spider-Man yet, how are you going to do this?
I know all those movies are so weird because
Yes.
they have to like if Venom, if we can go off anything from Venom, it's that they always have to like tangentially leave gaps open because like to slide Spider-Man in whenever they kind of need him. There's that Mobius movie that's
Morbius is
coming out. That's
Yep.
probably going to be that same weird vibe. I have been saying since like I think like the first after the first Tom Holland Spider-Man came out that specifically I wanted Kraven the Hunter because he's one of the best characters ever, and I want them to do him right, and they seem to be doing different than the classic Spider-Man villains, and it makes me upset that they might be jumping to his own movie. I have wanted like a straight up like Avenger-style Sinister Six movie, which would be cool if they're leading up to something like that.
They're trying to do that for years.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But I agree with Anthony. Kraven the Hunter is great. I don't trust Sony, and I don't really want Keanu.
The Venom sequel is
I mean,
going to
what
come out.
leading man that could put asses in seats are you going to get to be Craven other than what Carl Urban's not? Does he have the cachet that Keanu does? I don't think
Carl
so.
Urban's already been, if they're doing him in Marvel and doing everything Marvel, Sony's connected somehow, he already played the character in Thor.
I remember there was a rumor going around a while back that they were going to make Kraven the Hunter from Wakanda. That he was going to be. There were these theories going around that was going to be this Wakandan warrior who got like kicked out. So if they wanted to have a go like someone who could be from Wakanda and have like that crazy Wakandan technology as well, and also just like I want to hunt this 15-year-old boy, like
hunt the big game. That would make sense.
That'd be cool.
Don't ever take that out of context.
Everything. And then in that case, fucking Sterling K. Brown is what I want as Kraven the Hunter.
Oh, that's a good pick too.
He's got to wear the fucking leopard pants.
Yeah,
he's got it.
And the little shoes.
Why don't they just? They should just take Kraven and Wonder Woman 84 him and just CGI him into a weird cheetah-looking thing.
Oh no! Make him a lion and he's
like cheetah.
Suddenly, it's
like
have him walk around in heels badly first, and then he can do that.
Make him like that Mowgli movie where Christian Bale played one of those animals. Yes. Oh my god,
the Jungle Book. That was the dark Jungle Book.
No, not the Jungle Book. The Mowgli one. Look up Mowgli.
Oh,
that
was
look
there
up
like
the
a
animals.
standalone Mowgli movie?
That was his.
Yeah, on Netflix.
I thought that was his version of the Jungle Book.
No, there was two. There was Jungle Book that came out.
Oh Jesus!
Google the animals.
Yeah,
Mowgli.
Smeagol directed that one.
That's right.
Insanely
the Andy
awful.
Serkis Mowgli Legend of the Jungle.
Yeah, look up the animals.
God.
That is
and
that
did
is
he
pretty
play
bad.
the lead or anything?
I forget who was in what role, but what they tried to do is they wanted to add the human characteristics to the animal faces. Like you could kind of tell Christian Bale was playing an animal.
Oh, and they made them look like the actors,
and they looked really weird.
Oh god,
that's just not a good look.
I don't like that.
That's what I'm advocating is they do that for Kraven.
Yes, sure. I would look.
Let's just tank the Kraven movie as much as possible, please.
Yes, just tank it, right? If you're going to have Keanu, just tank it.
Keanu's great, and I would argue, Katie, maybe you agree. We are in the midst of a Keanu Sans. This is the Keanu Sans. We've seen him come back for Bill and Ted. There's John Wick 4. He's doing Matrix 4. This guy, he's everywhere.
Cyberpunk.
He's in Cyberpunk.
Everywhere.
He is a legit action star doing his own stunts up there with like your Tom Cruises of the fucking world.
Yeah, no, he's exploded.
Yeah.
I actually worked with his one of his stunt doubles for John Wick on a film, and he looks exactly like him.
Yeah, he was a really nice guy.
Really nice guy, but looks freakishly like Keanu Reeves. I mean, I guess you would have to, but
one of the stunt doubles was, and then went on to direct a bunch of movies.
Chad Stahelski?
Chad Stahelski, I think.
it's not him.
Oh, okay. So yeah, a little waste of Keanu. I don't know. This is a rumor. We'll see what happens. This next story I think is just funny and ridiculous, and we're going to talk about WandaVision in a second. And people are fans of Vision. There's one huge fan of Vision, specifically rapper Lil Uzi Vert. I don't like saying those three words together. It's odd. Lil Uzi. Anthony,
name.
what's a Lil Uzi Vert song? Give me a name. I don't know.
Let me Google.
Oh shit! You don't even know.
I don't know him off the top.
You motherfucker!
Isn't it a potato chip brand?
Yes, I love sour cream and onion. Lil Uzi Verts.
He doesn't do skeet or skirt.
Yeah, he does that song where he goes skirt, skirt. That's that song.
I don't remember. I know his songs. If they played them, I would know his songs, but I don't know the names. Of the songs.
You've gotten so old that you don't even know any Lil Uzi Vert songs. That's
EXO
telling.
Tour Life.
Brilliant songs.
That's a good song.
It's a classic.
I don't know.
Yeah, those are classics.
That's a banger.
You have to. I don't even know. Like, even looking at the names, I don't remember the songs. You have to play them for me.
Jeez,
if you have the prefix Lil,
yeah,
I automatically write you off.
I'm done. I'm out.
I'm like, we don't even know how tall you are.
Yeah. Your height is not the issue here.
Yes.
It's your mumble mouth.
Mars. How tall you
Was
are?
there a big Uzi Vert?
No, there
was
wasn't.
there a medium Uzi Vert? I don't know. Was there tiny?
Uzi the second.
Yes. Is there a little Uzi Horse? Like, do they go horizontal also? Is that a vertical? Horse, little Uzi Horse. Is there a little Mac 10 Vert? Different guns? I could go on. Anyways, little Uzi Vert got a $24 million pink diamond embedded in his fucking forehead.
Oh, shit.
How long do you think that
Holy
lasts?
Shit.
Someone's going to jack him and do exactly what Thanos did to him.
Why?
He's gonna get plucked.
Thanos, someone's going to concave his head and pull out who wouldn't gank him for Anthony? You like this style? Is this going to catch on? What do you think?
I mean, no, that's not going to catch on. I still think that's a cubic zirconium. in his head.
Anthony still thinks
real.
that there's faith in humanity, that there's not going to be a bunch of idiots copying this guy.
I still hold out hope that people aren't putting diamonds in their
I
fucking
know.
foreheads.
Apparently, there's a quote here. This one stone costs so much, I've been paying for it since 2017.
Oh,
and that was the
shit.
first time I saw a real, natural pink diamond.
A lot of M's in my face. What does that mean?
I can't
What
tell
does
you.
M, Anthony? Can you translate?
What a lot of M's in my
Yeah.
face?
Money
A
signs?
lot of
money
millions.
bags?
He's millions. 24
Yeah.
million. Yeah, it is.
That's good.
Yeah, you should have just
I feel
bought
like
some.
the Kardashians can say the same because of all the money that they've sunk into plastic surgery. So.
You
Yes.
should have just bought some GameStonk
He should
instead.
have bought
Yeah.
some GameStop. Really, what a responsible way to spend millions of dollars in in a time when people are unemployed and starving stuff. Great.
I
Yeah.
really hope they just taped it on his head.
See, is it really embedded? Like the people who get horns and things, the implants.
It's like that concert jewelry that girls stick on to go to Coachella.
Yes, it's just like stick-on pasty glitter. Wow, you know what? That $24 million could have bought him a lot of jock and nerd swag, which you listener,
What made you decide to put this up?
because I thought it was ridiculous, but I have.
It is.
But then Peter Kendall had given me a follow-up article that kind of sort of ties into a segue to this. I just thought this was ridiculous, and why? What is going on?
I guess we're talking WandaVision. I guess it
Exactly.
makes sense.
WandaVision, he put the fucking Mind Stone actually in his forehead. But he should have taken that $24 million, went to jockandnerd.com/shop,
There you go.
and bought all t-shirts and masks and mugs and magnets and pillows with our logo on it.
Oh, you guys have masks too. We
Yes.
have masks as well.
Masks are
Yeah.
great. And look, if anybody listener, you need a new mask this week, February 10th to 12th, there is a sale at our shop. Classic shirts on sale for $13. Everything else up to 35% off. So masks on sale this week. Get it, put it on, and then you'll have us on your face, which is always great. Last thing in the news, Peter Kendall, why don't you lead in this story? You sent me this earlier today, and I was like, oh my God, this is such a heart-wrenching and amazing story. It's got to go in, and maybe a better way to spend millions of dollars.
Yeah, so apparently there is a Spider-Man memorabilia collector named, has the nickname Spider Steve. And the sad story is that he is, I'm so sorry, I didn't have the article up in the moment, but he is dying of
He has
some sort of...
rectal cancer since Election Day 2016.
Oh, Jesus. Everything in one just bad about that.
That's
I know,
terrible.
that's two whammies on Election Day 2016.
Oh, shit.
Good point.
And the way he describes it, he wants to sell all of it to one lucky buyer and leave all the money to his family. He's selling his entire Spider-Man collection. He's been collecting Spider-Man comics since 1967.
Oh, shit.
He says he has every single issue and appearance of Spider-Man from 1967 to 2002. An appearance includes Spidey being in the comic or even an image of the Spider-Man logo in the comic.
Wow. And
Apparently, anything besides like a QR code, he said, is considered an appearance.
he's got toys. He's got original art. He has a 7.0 graded Amazing Fantasy 15 was it? And then he has a 9.0 Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 9.0. And if you go to his website, they're all there. But the man wants to raise money. The comics itself saying estimated at like $1.4 million. And he wants to get the money for his kids to set up his kids because he has been fighting this for a while. And he now thinks he's nearing, fortunately, the end of his fight, which is rough. There's a video you can watch at his website, which is spider-steve-collection.com. I'll put it in the show notes. And he talks about how long he's been collecting. And this, Peter, how much did you connect to this? This is a guy who loves Spider-Man like we do. And what an amazing collection.
It is. If it tempts anyone else to look into it and buy it more, he does have a full section of Spider-Man nudes. Just so
Right.
everyone
That caught my eye right away. I was like, excuse me?
I missed that part of the story. He has Spider-Man nudes, did you say?
appearances in dirty magazines. Apparently, some of these are drawn by Ditko.
Wow.
And
Holy shit.
if you look under appearances section, there is a nude section, and the images are defined on the website as coming soon. I feel like he's not going to upload these images.
But you will be.
Hey!
Someone will be.
My favorite thing is that's the legacy that you leave behind, that your kids know you have spider nudes.
My dad
Yeah.
loved Spider-Man. He had spider nudes.
Yeah, but your kid also has millions of dollars now.
Yeah, this guy's.
Yeah.
A lot of people know this guy, Spider Steve, and
It is extremely impressive. I am not that much of a collector myself, but like extremely impressive. Like the cataloging, like he has every single issue rated and in order, and just like, and he's a guy who was a lawyer for a long time in his life, and like lived a life. He wasn't just like feverishly collecting things. He like lived a life and also decided to like keep buying Spider-Man comics. It's really cool.
it's amazing. I think. What do you say, guys? We pool our Patreon money together, listener.
Yeah.
Listener, support the Patreon.
Our fans would be so proud of us, so happy that we're using their money to not boost up the show, but just to spend it on
Give a dying
Imran's
man
hobby.
his last wish and help him out. It would come on. We're trying to do some good in the world.
We'll share the Spider-Man nudes with you all.
Come on, guys.
Yes.
We will.
I will.
It's cool, right?
Hey, if the listeners sign up for Patreon and we can hit this goal, I will put the Spider-Man nudes out there for everyone. How about that?
We have
Fucking nerdy.
amazing spoof Heroes 4 swimsuit issue. Mary Jane naked with Spider-Man tattoo. Come on.
Geek boner.
What is the price that he wants?
1.5
He
million?
he wants to sell it all to one person in
Yeah.
one go.
Right,
right.
So yeah.
We're only a couple bucks away
Yeah,
from
we're
on our
close.
Patreon. Everyone.
Let's
Yeah.
get there. So he said the comics alone are 1.4 million.
Oh.
The other items is probably another million.
nudes and then the pictures of his dick.
Yeah, dude, the nudes is $1 million alone right there. It's worth the fucking price of admission. Okay, good stuff, everyone. Let's take a quick break here. We're going to come back and get weird in Westview right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hello, listeners. I want to talk to you for 1 second, real quick, about the Golden Pea Movie Awards, referred to lovingly as the Golden Peas. Every year, I take the opportunity to celebrate the year in film, and 2020 is no different. Please head over to 2peasonapod.com/golden peas and find all of the nominees, as well as links to a ballot that you can use to vote. Voting is open from January 29th until March 1st of 2021. We feature all of the main categories that you will find at shows like the Golden Globes and the Oscars, but we poll the film and Twitter and podcast community to get those nominees. And as you know, they are chosen by you. So please cast a ballot. Head over. Once again, it's 2peasonapod.com/golden peas. We love movies and we love celebrating movies, and we hope you come to the party this year.
Forgive the interruption, but I believe this requires your attention.
If you ever believed Captain America was on the U.S. Olympic soccer team,
If you ever thought that the Winter Soldier was that brace yourselves guy on the internet,
And if you ever wondered just what would a raccoon do with a machine gun,
then don't let another week pass you by without tuning into
Mighty Marvel Geeks.
Mighty Marvel Geeks is your show about all things Marvel.
with news, rumors, commentary, and interviews.
As well as our weekly recommendations on what to pick up on New Comic Book Day.
Official consulting hours are between 8 and 5 every other Thursday.
That's Mighty Marvel Geeks on WeebieGeeks.net, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and anywhere else you listen to podcasts.
And nerd.
Listener, if you enjoy the show and want to support us and you want to make sure that we keep making one of these every week, join our awesome fan club. Visit jockandnerd.com/Patreon. Jock and Nerd. And for as little as $3 a month, you will get bonus content. Shows come out early. You'll get a legit sports show with Chaswell.
Their bottom is very weak.
That comes out semi-regularly. I am doing WandaVision instant reactions for every episode. That is bonus content only on the Patreon. And
You
Anthony,
narrate the entire show.
yeah, it's like a recap reaction in like 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Get the fuck out of here. It was. I
The last
tried
one was
throwing it on, and
15
it was like
minutes.
30 minutes.
No, look at the time. The last one was 15 minutes, you motherfucker.
I had like a 5-minute drive. I'm like, let me hear what Imran has to say. And by the end of the 5-minute drive, you're still in like the first 2 minutes narrating.
Well, a lot of things fucking happened in this episode. What do you want me to do? Anthony, you were putting up more Oscar-worthy movie reviews. What did you do this week?
I did Mank.
Nice.
And News of the World.
Ah, that's the Tom Hanks Western.
It's the Tom Hanks Western.
What is that on? Apple TV Plus? No.
I paid $20 to watch that fucking film.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's the Tom Hanks Western, and Mank is the David Fincher film about the making of Citizen
That's on the Netflix. I've seen the Mank. I haven't
You've seen it?
Yes, I did.
Oh.
I did.
Pretty boring.
It's a little slow. It's a little dry. It's very
slow.
Yeah,
It's slow.
It's very like sweeping 40s movie making.
It's very well made, but it's not all that accessible.
I'm gonna sit that one out.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
got to be kind of like a nerd about Citizen Kane and like old school Hollywood, like to maybe enjoy it.
News of the World's good though.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
Tom Hanks.
I have a stack of movies on our
Yes.
TV table right now because I'm for the SAG Awards we get to watch and vote on actors.
Oh
and stuff.
snap!
really?
You got screeners.
Yeah.
Oh,
If I can
Lucky.
recommend any of the movies that we watched, Minari was
Oh, fuck yeah.
fantastic.
I'll be
Watch
watching
Minari.
that. Yep,
gotta
I'll
get
be
that.
watching that.
Minari is killer.
Yeah, I want to see that.
What else?
Well, we got News of the World, we got Mank, we got
We got all of
watched-
them, yeah.
Yeah, we got
Holy
so many.
shit!
A lot of them we didn't get to.
Promising Young Woman is also.
Promising Young Woman was
Yeah.
I've seen
Stunning.
Promising Young Woman. Yep, very good.
Borat.
I was not okay for 2 days after Promising Young Woman.
Yeah, Borat was great.
Oh, you guys are part of the SAG.
Yeah,
That's
they're
cool.
getting all the
Yeah.
screeners. They're legit.
Devil All the Time.
Devil All the Time was also Tom Holland.
Yeah, Tommy's coming back.
Everyone was sad in that movie.
Everyone was so sad.
Everyone was having a bad time.
And very Christian.
I tried to watch that on Netflix. I could not get through it. I was
Oh,
like,
you were too
no.
bored?
No, yes. I was like, I don't know what is happening, and it just I did not suck me
It was
in.
the devil all the time.
all the fucking time,
No,
man.
it's not-
No, it was.
not
It
digging
was. It definitely. It had a tone about
Yes.
it.
Well, speaking of, sorry, I was just going to say this week, Judas and the Black Messiah and
comes out?
Minari come out
Oh,
on the
shit.
12th. So
Nice.
those are
Nice.
movies I can watch.
I gotta watch those.
Anybody
We'll watch
watch
Minari.
that? Anybody
Yeah, it's
watch that?
fantastic.
That movie that just came out on Netflix with what's her name,
Malcolm
Mary
and
Jane.
Marie?
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it this week.
Haven't watched that one yet.
John
I heard
David
it's just
Washington
them
and
arguing the entire time,
and
but-
Zendaya. Well, it's
Is it like Marriage Story? But like,
Yeah, actually, it is. I think it's like the black and white marriage story. Except from what I read, it's getting a lot of hate online. But I'll still watch.
Isn't it? It's like he's a director and she's an actor, and they're also a couple. They work
It's very
together.
like meta movie
Hollywood, yeah.
like them in the industry arguing.
Again, Hollywood
for
loves
2 hours.
movies about Hollywood, so
Yes, they do.
they like to give these things Oscars and nominations. So, all right, good stuff. Once I talk about fan club, jockandnerd.com/Patreon, whatever.
Nerd.
Let's get to the review this week. WandaVision episode 5. Here are your spoiler alerts.
Strap yourselves in, you fucks. Spoiler time.
This one's called On a Very Special Episode. And again, great title, appropriately named. Peter and Katie, let me start off by asking you, did I
Yes.
make you watch all of this just because you're coming on the show? Or were you going to watch this anyways?
It was the next on my list because I was slogging my way through Cobra Kai, and I was enjoying I was enjoying it, but like we play
you
a
were
lot
just,
of indie
yeah,
games
you were
and stuff.
taking
Yeah.
it in stride.
Yeah, but we were going to go into WandaVision next. We would not have watched it as quickly if not coming onto the show because it did have a little devil all the time pacing for the first few episodes.
Oh, it's not that fucking slow. Relax. Slow down.
Oh my! Tom Holland wasn't in it. That's all I'm saying.
Tom Holland is not in it.
But when it picked up, it definitely picked up.
Yeah.
And it was, yeah. But no, I guess we technically watched it quickly for the show, yes. But we enjoyed it.
I appreciate you doing that. Thank you very much.
We have
did
free
better
time.
we did better than the trailer.
Yes,
at
it's
least.
the Winter Falcon trailer. Yes, indeed. Okay, well, look, I don't know where to start. You guys pick out a fucking crazy thing that happened that stuck with you. We'll start there.
Jesus.
Ooh.
That's a
Anybody,
loaded question.
anybody,
I
throw
want
something.
I want to hear the guests and like Katie's perspective on WandaVision because
Okay, yeah.
not as nerdy.
Yeah, I
Probably a lot cooler.
definitely. I don't know. I can assure you. I definitely was a little sort of like confused about the pacing in the beginning of the show. I was like, yeah, this seems like they wrote a sitcom, but the jokes are kind of modern and it's an interesting idea. And then once it started to pick up and I was like, oh, we're in the real world and now there's this happening. Okay. Oh, now I'm interested. Gotcha. I'm enjoying it. I think the way that they've decided to like shoot the show actually is really interesting.
Yes.
Like I was talking about this most recent episode. They almost put like a wash or a filter over the camera and made it look super 80s or 90s in the way that was shot like an old-timey camera. It was not old-timey, but comparatively. So I think the way that they're shooting it's really cool. Like I said, I didn't get all the references. Like every fucking commercial, Peter had to be like, all right, that's the logo, those bad guys, the octopus and shit.
All right, let me explain Hydra to you for 10 minutes while we move on.
Pause. Yeah. Did that affect your enjoyment, though, not getting those things?
In the beginning, it did. It did. But once I was enlightened, I began to pick up on things a little bit more. But because, like I said, the pacing was just awkward for me in the beginning because it felt like it was all about the Easter eggs. But now that there's some more plot tying going on, I'm more invested in it.
What did you guys think then? I guess let's just start with the biggest thing. I know Imran wants to pick a crazy moment. The craziest moment is the end. So what did you guys both think of it? Katie, did you understand the reference at the end?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you have to explain it to you.
That was the movie that I fell asleep during. So I didn't realize it was a different actor. I was like, oh, it's the brother.
Hey, this is pretty cool.
It worked
I didn't realize he was a different guy.
The recast works flawlessly on Katie.
Yeah, that's pretty funny, the recast, yes.
What'd you think of it, Peter?
That changed the end's interesting, and it's all like how we've been taught, like similar to what we were just talking about when we were talking about like general like Spider-Man movies and all the Marvel movies. We are trained to theorize the hell out of everything. Like, why did they recast it? Is this guy recast as something? Is it? And we're in full-on spoiler territory. So, like, is this like the reanimated corpse of her actual dead brother that looks weird? Like, why does he look different? Like, is it another person pretending to be that person? Like,
did the kids make him? Like,
my number one theory is that the kids made him.
Oh shit! Because I thought the kids maybe made the dog out of nothing.
That would make sense too, yeah.
But the first thing I thought,
no, I'm just saying she was, a lot of people think like the doorbell rings and she goes, I didn't do that. And I legitimately think she is not doing this because she is just as surprised as everyone else.
At first I thought that they were just doing a clever like wink wink, like, hey, we can do this with the Fox actor. But it's just a red herring. He's just playing.
That's possible too.
The recast Quicksilver, but he's not the Quicksilver from the Fox universe. But now, as I thought about it, I'm leaning more towards that this is the Quicksilver from the Fox universe,
Evan
and that
Peters.
they're busting open multiverse stuff, and he happened to just come over.
I think that's deliberate. I think that when they do stuff like that, it's all for a reason. I think that if it turns out to be nothing, I really highly doubt it. But I think the whole show is trying to push towards this multiverse thing. So I think that this is the first chip to fall that kind of gives away that.
Rarely does the MCU not continue a plot thread. It's not the Star Wars movies.
Exactly. Everything means something. This is a $70 billion cameo, essentially, if you think about it. We were waiting for when we would see, after Disney bought Fox, when we were going to see the first inkling, and here it is. But I had all those same questions. Like, she knew him as Aaron Taylor Johnson. Is this the first appearance of a mutant, an X-Man, in the proper MCU? Or are they still fucking with us a little bit?
I would like it to be. I would like the whole, especially with multiverse and all that stuff going on, all the online theories seem to be pointing to that, and the X-Men are freaking awesome, and I would like them to start shoved in more.
It's very possible. I've seen some theories. The House of M storyline, she says no more mutants.
Yes.
I think I read some speculation. Instead of saying no more mutants, she says something along like there will be mutants or something.
They're doing the
some more mutants.
Some more mutants. Few more mutants.
More mutants. All the mutants. But if they bring it over and bring Quicksilver over, then that means that this Quicksilver, his dad is Michael Fassbender.
It's Magneto. So is Magneto going to be showing up? And which fucking one? It's going to have to be Fassbender, I guess. I don't know.
It's got to be Fassbender. Yeah. I don't think they've talked to him yet, but there is the idea that there's other people involved, not just Wanda. and this is being manipulated, and that's another thing that they're kind of dangling over our head, and we're probably going to get to hopefully see something tonight or tomorrow. Well, not tonight. I think you think it's Thursday.
We're not on Thursday anymore, Ruggs. It's Monday night.
Oh shit!
What, tonight?
We gotta wait a week.
Jesus!
You
What are we
motherfucker.
going to see tonight?
Yeah, what are you watching?
Nothing.
He broke his own multiverse.
Yeah, I'm in the old universe.
You're in the,
where
you
we're
got to come into the
recording
new
on Thursday
the
night.
reboot. I bought House of M recently, and I just read it, and it's very good. It's Brian Michael Bendis, of course, and it goes by very very quick, eight issues. And in that one, there is somebody that is behind it. I'm not gonna say who it is. It's not who I thought it was.
I also read a theory that they might just be playing with us, and that Evan Peters is actually it's Mephisto.
Yes, it could be somebody else. Yeah,
Quicksilver to throw her off, and he's actually Mephisto. So I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, there's been a lot of Mephistos being thrown around, and I'm currently also still obsessed and curious about Agnes.
Yes,
because when we were analyzing stuff, when Sword was like casting the whole show, the Agnes card was like totally blank. So they still don't entirely know who she is.
They haven't ID'd her. Well, let's talk about that in the beginning when they open the sitcom. Clearly, I love the Family Ties inspired set. And we'll get to the opening in a second. Because this 80s genre, this is my jam. They fucking nailed the 80s sitcom reality. But in the beginning, you
Family
guys,
Ties, Full House,
Growing Pains, a little bit of everything smushed together. But in the beginning, Agnes breaks character as if she is on a sitcom set, wants to take it from the top. She's addressing Wanda as if Wanda is the director of the show. And Vision sees this. He's like, what the fuck's going on? Wanda's denying it because he threw off her whole plan to hold the babies, which is clearly, though she came in here to touch the babies, maybe to give them more magic because then they start fucking aging.
I think she was just trying to throw Wanda off the trail a little bit. I think that Wanda knows that she's got something to do because she always appears whenever you need something.
Time. Yes.
Doesn't Vision say that? Or,
yes.
He's like, what's going on here?
So she's basically like letting Wanda know that she's in charge.
I mean, there's a lot of hints, like Wanda saying that she's not controlling everything, and the Indian guy, what's his name?
Norm,
when he gets zapped back into like reality, he's saying she's in my head. He doesn't say Wanda.
Exactly. He doesn't say a name. He said it hurts. Make her stop. She's in my head. He never says a name.
It's a red hair. I mean, it's not Wanda completely controlling.
I might be Agnes. That part I thought was great because I love the power that now Vision can snap people out. We can get some answers. But how they got to that, I thought was a little clunky. Where you're in his workplace and they have computers now and they have the internet and there's a fucking Commodore 64. I had one of those.
Geek boner.
I had that fucking Commodore. You have to plug it into the television and to make it work. But then he zaps the email because they get an email from Sword and then zaps it. I was like, all right, sure, fine. He's now that unlocked it, I guess. I want to go back to the opening because I fucking loved this opening credit sequence. The live painting is exactly like Family Ties.
Geek boner.
They do the same exact thing. And these are sitcoms that you two, Peter and Katie, are probably too young to have watched any of these.
I'm a huge sitcom fan, actually.
Nick at Night.
Nick at Night, yeah.
All there.
I watched them. No, I got the references.
Come on, Imran.
Okay, I forgot about Nick at Night and reruns.
I told you about this when we were talking about the 50s and 60s
Nick
episode.
at Night.
Yeah. You grew up watching Nick at Night also, Anthony?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love Lucy, little honeymooners, little
I grew up on
Bewitched.
the honeymooners, yeah.
Well, it was the thing was like I would turn on Nickelodeon as a kid expecting still Nickelodeon, and you would get Nick at Night, and I was just like, okay, this is still Nickelodeon, I guess.
It's Nickelodeon just at night.
I guess I'm allowed to watch it.
It's at night. It's just black and white.
I don't know why they're showing these old things, but all right, where's the slime?
And a little like theater nerd note that I can throw in there.
Yeah.
I believe Bobby and Kristen Lopez have done all the theme songs for the
for the
sitcom
show
theme
so
songs.
far, yeah.
They did Frozen and Avenue Q and all that, and I just think that's cool. I just think it's fun.
And this one is great because it's like the melody is straight from Growing Pains mixed with a little Family Ties.
And then you got a little Full House. And
got
it's
Full
really
House.
freaking
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
because Now it's a TV show within the TV show.
Her sisters are on.
Yes,
Elizabeth
exactly.
Olsen's twin sisters
and
are
she's
on
playing
Plus.
a character that's referencing, or she's the sister of the character that they are trying to tie into.
Fucking great. And you guys talking about Nick and Knight, I am so old that I watched these shows fucking live, first run. When they first aired, I was there sitting prime time watching it. That's how old I am.
I totally forgot that she is the sister of the Olsen twins.
Olsen
I didn't even
Yes,
put
she's
that
Elizabeth.
shit together.
She's
Oh
the
my
third
God.
Olsen.
Yeah.
She's the third. Show me that smile again. You got all that. It's great. Well, we cannot skim past fucking Baby Vision. Holy shit.
That's very
Come on.
funny.
This could dethrone Baby Yoda. Give me a Baby Vision TV show. What are you doing? And I loved him as Turkey Vision and Easter Bunny Vision, and he just looks progressively sadder and more grumpy in all the photos. We also learned, kind of confirming that Wanda's grief is what is controlling everyone. As Monica says, she feels her grief. So all of this is Wanda working through her grief. And the commercials, a lot of people have pointed out that they kind of reflect Infinity Stones, each one. And, of course, they're a critical moment in her life. Like this one, Lagos paper towels, a fucking brutal way to reference the Civil War incident in Lagos where she's wiping up red liquid with these towels. And what is the tagline?
Something along the lines of like, clean up the mess you don't expect.
For when you make a mess you didn't mean to.
There you go. Yeah.
Lagos, paper towel. I was like, oh, fuck. These are the same two actors in these commercials, and I think they're her parents still.
Yeah, they definitely have to be her parents. Yeah.
That's a good, I didn't think about that. That's good.
I thought they were just lucky to be recurring characters.
Featured background. That was good.
I think they're her parents. In fact, there's an Easter egg when Randall Park, Jimmy Woo goes through, like, he gives you the whole Wanda backstory. This is the first time you hear the name of their parents, Irina and Oleg Maximoff. I don't think we ever knew what their names were.
They wouldn't name them if they wouldn't come up. So that's definitely a good.
There was a cool theory we were reading about the toaster commercial.
Yes.
About that was the beeping time bomb.
Yep.
Of her and her brother. Wait,
From Ultron.
God, it's all so fucking crazy and dark.
Each one deals with a traumatic incident in her life, and maybe lines up with an Infinity Stone.
I have a theory about why Wanda, this whole thing started.
Okay.
Is that they mentioned that Vision did not want to be made into a weapon.
Yes, he had a DNR.
So maybe Wanda found out that they were making him a weapon and she went to stop it.
Oh, shit.
So I don't, but then like actually doing that probably brought a bunch of emotions to the surface and she couldn't handle it.
Well, what's curious about that is the S.H.I.E.L.D. director, who now is just like, the Sword director, is now like, it's almost too obvious that he's the bad guy.
He's the bad guy.
Like,
he's calling her a terrorist.
No, but I almost feel like he isn't because they're making it so obvious that he is.
I don't trust him.
But he drops the line, oh, well, shit, 9 days ago, Wanda stole Vision.
That was amazing.
And it's like, wait a minute, you conveniently drop that now and you guys are all standing around like this is a mystery? You already knew that. So like there has to either that's just bad writing or they're like, it's also setting up something like he's got something going on as well.
Well, he said we've just been given permission to show this because that could be bullshit is what the line was. But holy shit, when he showed that video 9 days ago, Wanda smashing into the facility, taking the corpse's body, I was like, oh, fuck. This is where this started. Now, apparently this was going to be the scrapped post-credit scene in Avengers Endgame.
Oh.
When it ended, you would have seen Wanda go in and take him. But that is his fucking dead body that she's reanimated and he's walking around.
Yeah, we were talking about this before of what your guys' theories are if Vision. It seems that Vision is straight up alive with his own consciousness. Do you think that Wanda is still the battery powering him and she could like snap him off whenever, like if some
question.
like amazing.
That is a good question.
She's the power source because he was originally created from an Infinity Stone. She's like siphoning her own Infinity Stone power into him, or is he fully his own sentient being that she fully cannot no longer control?
That's a very good question. I have a theory. Anybody have any theories?
Answer.
Yeah. It's not being on the other side, huh, Imran? Answer a question.
I think that from what you see with the pants that become Kevlar,
rewriting reality.
The reality gets rewritten, and I think that whatever else the other factor is, the outside factor, if there's a Mephisto or something else involved, or or what's her name involved? Agnes. I think that all of that stuff can make things out of her control because there's things that she clearly can't control. Like her kids aging themselves up.
Yeah, she can't magic her babies, her kids.
Yeah.
So, so there's things that even though she has part of it, she doesn't really control. They're just in her reality. So maybe Vision is operating on his own at this point.
I don't think she's the battery.
Okay.
I think the reason they're in that location is because there's something there that whoever put this together that is helping Vision come back to life. Because you're right, he has his own consciousness, which is strange. Because he's saying shit like, you don't get to make those decisions for me. I don't know who I am. What's going on? And
but he doesn't remember.
But he doesn't remember anything. So I had that thought too. I was like, who's running the consciousness? Is it him? But I don't think she's the battery. I think maybe there was a shard of the Mind Stone buried in the location. Maybe she puts together the Mind Stone back together, and she's using that little. I don't know. I still feel like the reason they're there in Westview is because only here can she make Vision alive and create reality, as in her babies and things. There's something about the location.
I'm not sure it's only there. I think that they're trying to create a weapon with Vision.
Oh.
That's what they were doing.
That's what Sword is. Weapons,
yeah, I think that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
Wanda came and fucked shit up, and then they sent an agent in there, and they haven't revealed that yet, or who
the agent was,
or somebody to try and listen. Maybe we can use this. We can use her to reassemble the Vision, or something like that.
Mm.
So I think that they didn't anticipate that she was going to be able to alter reality to this point and do what she's done. So that came out of left field.
Dude, they sent that drone in that was armed. They're going to take a shot. And then how fucking badass was she when we finally see her outside of the fucking bubble and she's like, leave me the fuck alone. I have what I want.
And she has her accent back.
And her accent comes back. This is the first time she's done this accent since fucking Age of Ultron. In 2015, this accent comes back, and she is so powerful. She's wearing that badass red, coat, and she turns the guns on them. And it's a lot like in that X-Men movie when Magneto. Yeah, he did that shit. Geek boner. It made me think of that. And then the bubble goes red, and I didn't know what the fuck that meant.
No, but I will say, having not really known many Easter eggs or references or things like that, there was one line that stood out to me just from a writing standpoint.
Yes.
When she said, "This is my home now."
Yeah.
I don't know. That was just, it implies a lot a things.
Yeah.
It implies either you've chosen to live here, you can't leave here.
Yeah.
It implied a lot of things in one line. So I just thought it was interesting.
And we were also talking about how, the entire bubble seems to have turned red or scarlet.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how she has not actually been called the Scarlet Witch yet, ever.
Yeah, and there's that line where the guy's like, does she have a funny nickname? No, nothing?
Yeah. And they start throwing out, they're using hexes as a kind of casual way to say her magic or abilities now. So with this, red bubble, I feel like she might be, when they fully vilify her, either rightly or wrongly, she might finally get the label of the Scarlet Witch.
What I like about that, though, is
I think that's going to happen.
That character in the comics is a very complicated character that has many shades of gray.
Yeah.
And for the most part, the MCU, they've kind of had some characters, but most of their characters are good or they're bad, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they're potentially going the route of coloring her scarlet or gray.
Yeah.
And making her character something that just isn't going to be neatly fitted into a hero or a villain. She's doing some bad shit here. even if she's being controlled, she's somewhat of an active participant in all of these people being captured and away from their families and not knowing what the hell's going on.
Or is she though? Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, we'll see, right?
Yeah.
But it sounds like she could stop it,
If
but
she
she's
wanted to,
complacent with the life that she has with Vision.
Someone is encouraging her to keep it, stay in this reality, and it's, a lot of it is Agnes, to have kids in the town.
Maybe she made a deal with someone.
Yeah.
The devil?
The devil.
With Cruella DeVille?
Yeah.
We forget about Dottie, but she wasn't also named in that.
What the fuck happened to
lineup.
Dottie? She was bleeding red, too.
Oh, yeah, Dottie, who looks just like Madeline Kahn.
Yeah,
She didn't understand that reference, but she looks so much like her.
No, she does. I know that. That's a good one. That's a good one. I love a couple of weird things to note.
I'm tired. Sorry.
Yes. Of Young Frankenstein. Was she in Young Frankenstein, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great in that. Monica says she knows an aerospace engineer. Who is this?
Geek boner.
Is it Reed Richards?
I think it's too soon to get Reed Richards.
Then I love this moment. Monica acknowledges that Wanda almost beat fucking Thanos, which is something we said last episode, and something watching Endgame. You're like, she fucking had him. And
well, then the Jimmy Woo goes like,
yes, this is also
Captain
important.
Marvel almost did, and Monica
changes the
has
subject.
Like a weird look. Like, fuck that girl.
Something happened.
They have some beef.
Yeah, had something going on there.
So all we know is, when she was little in Captain Marvel, they were close, and since then, Carol Danvers has come and gone and saved things, and there's been a blip. They must have had some kind of fucking falling out there, because she don't want to talk about Captain Marvel.
I think that maybe she was just like, oh, she came back to Earth and never even stopped to say hello.
Yeah, it's not even a postcard or an email, nothing.
Essentially, yeah.
Interesting.
Well, her mom was sick, so there was a theory online she never came back to visit her mom.
Oh,
who was sick with cancer.
And that's why she's salty. That's
even worse.
Yeah.
Also, that brain scan, nothing showed up.
Nothing showed
that
up
was
'cause
interesting.
she's
All her scans are
photon.
blank. Yeah, she has powers now. Maybe
She got her powers. Yeah, that's a clear.
She is.
She's got something going on. So she goes, we need to run more tests, and she's like, nah,
I'm done.
with this.
She's just energy. That scan was just white, blown out, meaning she's just energy. Towards the end, before we get to the Evan Peters X-Men reveal, that was really great. This argument they have. And it's really creepy and unnerving because they're having this argument. Vision is finally confronting her. And Wanda, here's what she does do. She starts the credits to fucking end the show, right? While the argument.
Really good.
And they walk off and he's like, whatever this is, it's got to stop. And they walk off and they continue the argument. And they're about to fucking throw down.
Oh,
I was like, oh shit, they're both flying in the air in attack modes. And then he mentions there's no other kids in Westview and everybody calms down. And then she does have a good point. She's like, you think I'm controlling everybody walking their dogs and taking their kids to doing this? There's no way.
Yes, we do.
No, I don't know.
Yes, Wanda, we do.
I don't think there's any way she could be. Because Darcy earlier also said if she is making all this real, that is way more power than we've seen her do. And maybe she's getting help from someone else. I don't know.
But also, is it possible that like, I've heard thrown around that she may have created all this, but that the power within her subconscious is sort of kind of running wild now. It's kind of taking things and just doing things without her permission necessarily.
Right, how like your brain runs your entire body, but you don't consciously make your lungs move or anything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she created it all, but she cannot. Maybe she's not directly influencing every single event now.
That's actually possible.
I do think she's out of control though, and she's losing
There's
control.
a big thing. I think another thing though that's they hinted at it. Agnes says, "You kids, you can't control them," or something along those lines. These kids are going to be a problem.
Oh yeah,
because they're aging up themselves right away. I mean, they're going to be 38 by the time the show ends. By the time the next episode ends, and prior episodes, episode 2, they keep hinting at like for the children. The talent shows for the children. So like whoever has a hand in this wants
the
these
children.
kids.
Yeah.
They want the kids to do something.
They're the weapons, maybe.
Right? Maybe.
Yeah.
I think by the end of this, they will be like the Young Avengers age to be Wiccan and Speed, or maybe they'll get rewritten and they're put back to like young adults and they're in the Young Avengers.
Younger. I mean, they could get up to like 20, 25 and be still Young Avengers.
Yeah. So how about this? If Wanda can bring Evan Peters, if she can. Also, the line Darcy said, where she goes, she recast Pietro. So fucking brilliant on so many levels. Because, yes, she recast Pietro. They recast Pietro. We know Pietro's Aaron Taylor Johnson like Wanda, but it was so fucking mind-bending. I was like, oh, my God. But if she can do this, Peter Kendall, she can easily bring Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, Willem Dafoe, Alfred Molina, Jamie Foxx, everybody into the next Spider-Man movie, no problem.
And just a quick aside, Kat Dennings in general has been so much fun in the series.
Oh, she's hilarious.
Yeah, she's great.
But yeah, this is probably opening up. I mean, it literally being the first thing in the next phase of the MCU, and we know so much multiverse shit's going to go on. logically, quote unquote, it makes sense to her just to maybe lose too much of her mind and multiverse shit to start exploding all over the place.
It's all broken. I've been caught a couple of episodes of Two Broke Girls. It's been on like cable. I don't know if they're doing that on purpose. This is a funny show. She's really good in that, and that's like a straight up sitcom from years ago. And I was like, oh shit,
I have some opinions on Two Broke Girls.
Oh, you don't like it? You don't like it?
I'm a massive sitcom fan.
Yeah.
And what I'm excited about next time is that the next decade they're going into is like 90s and then early 2000s sitcoms, which are specifically my jam. So
what happens when she runs out of decades? What
goes
happens then?
We go into the Jetsons then.
Yes.
Peter, what do you want them to rip off in the 90s?
If the family dynamic is now mom, dad, and two teenage-esque kids, they might go like Home Improvement-esque. That was like late 80s, early 90s. Roseanne. They can't go Friends. They can't go Seinfeld. They can't go Frasier, sadly, which is the best sitcom ever made.
That's getting a revival on Paramount Plus with Kelsey Grammer. Did you see that?
I have
reboot.
Other theory. I could talk another podcast if you want me theories on what the new Frasier show is going to be.
New Frasier show.
I think it's going to have a podcast, but that's a separate idea.
Yeah, it won't be a radio show. It'll definitely be a podcast. Absolutely.
But I'm going to go like a Home Improvement Roseanne kind of route.
They're going to do a Modern Family.
It's just like Vision.
Who's the neighbor? Who's over in behind the fence? What was his name? Fucking
Al
Wilson.
Wilson. Yeah.
Al was his buddy. Wilson. Yes. That'll be fun. Listen, the attention to detail they put into these decades of sitcoms is so good, and this 80s was definitely my jam. Like, they fucking did it justice.
They hit it right for you.
They hit it right.
And they always used to do the on this very special episode, you'd get a cameo, like a big cameo. I think Family Ties had Tom Hanks.
Funny you mentioned that. I would be remiss if I didn't have some notes about very special episodes and sitcoms. Do you want to hear some of the top ones?
I do. I just have one thing. Yeah. Also, the 80s was the kind of the era where they started tackling a lot more serious subject matter in these sitcoms and throwing in like Tom Hanks had a drug addiction or an alcoholic or whatever.
They did a little bit in the 70s, but
what's that? 70s too.
A little bit.
70s too. 80s a little bit more prominently.
Here's your notable ones. Different Strokes had two very special episodes. There was The Bicycle Man with Gordon Jump from WKRP in Cincinnati.
There's three, actually.
There was three. He was luring boys into his bicycle shop.
Yes.
There's one called Sam's Missing, which is later where Danny Cooksey gets kidnapped.
Oh, shit.
And there's one where Dana Plato gets assaulted.
Oh, there's a Dana Plato assault one. I forgot about that one. Wow, Different Strokes, just every year. Yeah, Different Strokes, SVU. Dun-dun. That's the new show. All in the Family. The episode titled Edith's 50th Birthday. I remember watching this on reruns and it unnerved the shit out of me. Edith, a rapist, breaks into the house and like sexually assaults Edith.
Oh shit.
On this
All in the Family SVU. Jeez.
Yes. It was, and it's in front of like a live studio audience. It's like watching a play, and it was the creep. I was like, holy fuck, I'd never seen this episode. It was real. Family Ties had two. There was one called Give Uncle Arthur a Kiss, where Mallory gets a little too much attention from a coworker of her father's where he works. And then another uncle one. It was called Say Uncle. This one actually involved Elise's brother, Ned, where you mentioned, played by Tom Hanks, he visits, he's an alcoholic, and he slaps Alex P. Keaton.
Oh, shit.
While drunk.
I can't. Is that the meanest character Tom Hanks has ever played?
It must. Well, I mean, he got redemption in that episode, but that had to be. I can't imagine. From Bosom Buddies.
He's always the nicest guy in the world.
He's never been a bad guy. That's a good time. That must be the only villain. This one's great. Punky Brewster. I remember this one. It's called Sherry Lifesaver. Her friend Sherry gets locked in an abandoned fridge in a lot as they're playing hide and seek.
It's The Room. Special episode, very much The Room. With Brie Larson.
Punky Brewster.
Crossovers.
Yes. And, of course, this one you guys may know, Jesse Spano, Caffeine Pills, Saved by the Bell.
Oh, shit.
I'm so excited.
That's a classic. So I love special episodes. All right, I mean, a couple of Easter eggs I love, like, the whole recasting and the kids aging up is a thing that happened in 80s sitcoms all the time. Be a baby one season. And
baby would pop it, and then the next season the kid be like 5.
Yeah, it's like 5 years old, and it's like months have gone by. And then, they'll switch out, like, Aunt Viv on fucking... Fresh Prince, they just switched her out. No explanation. That shit happens all the time.
This is funny. There's a new M. Night Shyamalan film coming out called Old. And it's like this family going on vacation to a beach, and like all of a sudden the kids start aging up, and I'm like, wow, did they plan this? Like, it's really
There was
weird.
a Super Bowl commercial for it.
Yeah. It
was very odd. And you see this Super Bowl, not to take this off the rails, you see this Super Bowl commercial, and it's really creepy, M. Night Shyamalan, and all the kids aging up, and then the title just pops in, Old. And it's like,
old.
That's the title. The movie's called Old.
I heard about this.
I got this movie. It's called Old.
I thought it was a funny coincidence.
A couple other fun Easter eggs in the Tom King Vision series, which is an amazing series about the Vision creating a family of synthesoids and trying to live in the suburbs. A lot of it was influencing the show, as well as House of M. Their dog, which is a robot dog, is named Sparky, just like they named Sparky here. And then Pietro, I did like how he came in with like a New York accent. It reminded me of Nick, who was Mallory's boyfriend on Family Ties. He was a big, dumb, like greaser dude, and they never understood what Mallory saw in him. And Nick started an episode of Family Ties where he got a dog, and it died soon after from an accident. Also in Family Ties. Also, I just did on our other show, Dance of Joy podcast, the episode is coming out where Balky finds a dog, and he teaches the dog to do the Dance of Joy.
Super Dance.
Yes. So yes, you remember. He names it Super Dance, and Larry goes, what does that mean? He goes, dog. What did you think it meant? It's like, what do you think I
name
call
my
table?
dog Super Dance.
Super Dance. So again, the dog plot is something you see in sitcoms. And then last Easter egg, Vision in the beginning mentions he's reading them a Charles Darwin book that is about human evolution. Are they linking this to mutants? I don't know. I don't know.
I'm trying to remember the X-Men theme song right now and sing it for everyone.
Will Magneto show up?
That was a 90s cartoon.
Yeah, it's a fucking dope cartoon. It's still good. Would you guys want an X-Files style spin-off featuring Jimmy Woo and Dr. Darcy Lewis?
Yes.
Because they're pitching this to Marvel.
Oh, that was a fast answer.
I like both of them very much.
I think it would be great.
I don't necessarily want it, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. So I'm indifferent.
They have great chemistry, and if
they're fun,
and if they go around investigating weird shit in the MCU,
that's the kind of show everyone will be talking about, but I will never watch.
Nobody will watch it. That's just fucking dope.
I mean, when I saw that online too, and then someone commented and went, "Wasn't that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with Coulson?"
Yeah, a little bit, but better because you can now reference the shit that this is what they wanted to do in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for 7 years, and they couldn't do it, and now they're just doing it. Hey, we got clips from all the movies. We got the actors. Just fucking come on in. Forget all that other horse shit. Maybe Chloe Bennett shows up at some point. I don't know.
No, please, no.
Done.
No, don't tie into that.
Just recast her as somebody else. I like just I don't know.
You know, I do have one thought though overall on just coming off of this episode. You know, I think there's benefits to what Netflix does in releasing everything all at once. But with Mandalorian and now this, the way they're releasing these shows, it only can happen the way they're releasing it, right? Like if you watch this episode, now we're talking about it for a week and we're speculating on what happened and there's all this buzz. If you release everything all at once, this type of episode is just a footnote in your viewing experience that you probably talk about for like a weekend and then you forget about it forever.
Especially the way they're building this with all these Easter eggs and clues.
Right. Like whereas the conversation, as we've stated before, is 9 weeks of, and they're just building more and more buzz. As long as the episodes are good and they can continue to build upon the previous episode, this format actually works better in terms of keeping the buzz making the buzz last longer than
making it seem like an event. Yeah.
You know what this is? This is fucking comic books, people.
Oh shit.
It's a little bit of story and a little bit of time, so that you
you have to wait a month.
Yeah, it's a little bit quicker. But you take that month comic, split it into 4 things, you got your episodes. So they made everybody into comic book readers in terms of following along the storyline and trying to get everything. Peter and Katie, you guys do any voice acting over there?
I wish.
Yeah, we try.
We do try. It's really hard to get into.
Yeah.
No, it's tough. I know everybody thinks they can just get a mic and just be a fucking voice actor from home.
Yeah, and with, the way the industry's going right now, that seems to be the only thing that's really available.
Yeah, so now it's even more
pretty
bloated.
saturated.
Oh, man, because everybody's home, yeah.
would love to. I've been watching anime since I was a wee child. My parents thought there was something wrong with me.
Nice.
They're like, why does she like this? Like, there's just grown men playing card games and they're yelling duel at each other. I don't understand. So I would love to.
Why does she like this goth teenager ninja kid who's mean to her all the time?
Is she running like Naruto back and forth? What is going on?
Was there a transition there?
Yes.
Imran?
If you get a job with Disney, you guys, maybe you get a job with Disney Marvel. Here's something you don't want to do is tell Twitter who the fuck you're voicing before you're supposed to. Spanish voiceover actor last month, Rodri Martin, who does Quicksilver, Evan Peters' X-Men in the X-Men movies, tweeted that he was excited that he was going to be reprising the role of Quicksilver in WandaVision last month.
You don't do that.
You know how this is a problem? He appears to have been fired as the credits for this week's episode of WandaVision reveal that he's been replaced by Manuel Gimeno. So good for Manuel, bad for Rodri.
Oh, no. That's like the joke. That's the actor joke. I'm thrilled to finally announce you don't do it, man. Just leave it. Just be quiet. People
Let
know
other
when they
people
know.
do it. Yeah.
He had to delete all his social media accounts, but it was too late because people screenshot shit. And I remember seeing this a month ago, and I was like, oh, shit, Evan Peters is going to be in the show, and I didn't say anything. So that's something you don't want to do. And then the last thing is just, we were talking about multiverse, and this rumor, William Dafoe has been reportedly spotted on the set on Spider-Man 3. So everybody's going to be in this fucking movie.
Oh, my God.
Everyone's
I'm excited.
here.
That was another thing that we binge-watched was all three Spider-Men.
Oh, yes.
The original,
yes.
when we were stuck inside, and still are stuck inside.
Yep.
But I love those.
They were great. I bring them all back.
Peter, you could still be in this movie. Apparently everybody's in this movie.
Good. I would love to be.
And then last thing I want to know before we close this out, do you guys think this is the best episode yet? Are these getting better? Where does this last episode land in terms of your favorite episodes so far?
They are getting better. Now, I know that the show has been getting some criticism for its pace at the start, which I can see. I wish there was more stuff like this in the first few episodes, and now that it's like the ball is rolling, it's getting more and more, and I'm actually excited very much for the next episode. I think it's going to get better and better and better.
I feel similarly. I was upset at the pace in the beginning, but I understand why they had to do that because they kind of had to establish the format. But I really liked this last episode. Yeah. I felt like I was sitting in a theater and watching an Avengers movie, which, like I said, don't know a lot about, but I'm always excited.
Yeah.
You didn't fall asleep, so that was good.
I didn't, no, not once. So.
I'm digging the pacing. Anthony, what do you think about the pacing in this episode?
I've liked it from the start. This for me was after this episode, I was texting all my buddies like, "Did you see that episode? This is crazy. What do you think's happening?" I saw a meme online where it was like this, like people at a church, right? And the first episode was this lady sitting at a church. Episodes 1 and 2. Then episode 3 was a person behind her with a gun. And episode 4 was another person behind her with a gun. And then episode 5 was someone like by the organ. Like with a freaking sniper rifle, just has his gun on all of them.
Shit.
So it's like escalating.
All our heads are going to blow. Hopefully by 9 and maybe a 10th episode.
Exactly. So we'll see. I mean, this is they hinted earlier at like a big reveal. I don't know if they just blew it here and if this is it or if there's more.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
Scarlett, what's her name? Elizabeth Olsen did say there's a big Luke Skywalker type reveal coming. Was it this? Is there something else? Ruggs, how's it? Best yet, or what do you think?
Yeah, I like the show more now than I did in the beginning. I think the beginning, I know a lot of people liked it. I thought it was excessive. I think that it could have been woven together better like it is now. Like right now, they got the perfect weave and balance. They got a little bit of the show. You still get the nostalgic. You still get the thing. Because like what happens is after you make the joke of it being the show and you do a couple of minutes of it, like it's old. Like you don't need it anymore. So I'm glad that they kind of figured out, okay, we're going to do the fun intro. We're going to have a couple of the jokes, pepper in back and forth. But at the same time, deepen the story, progress the plot, explain things, answer questions, make new questions appear.
Yep.
So all of those things are working for me.
I thought it was brilliant to split it in and out of the bubble. Because what did we say last episode? Everyone is caught up. The jig is up, right? We've caught everybody up. Do you really want to spend another full half an hour in a sitcom? And I realized that I kind of did, but I didn't because jumping back and forth, and now we're following things inside and outside. I hope they keep that up. That is fucking fantastic. Loved it. Good stuff. Okay, we're gonna do some quick news from the nation. It's time for news from the nation. It's time for news from the nation. Is that a shy fart because we have guests, Ruckboy?
That was Peter.
Don't tell anyone.
Thanks.
Joplin. Just blame the dog.
I blame the dog, yes.
We have a cat.
Oh, blame the cat. The cat's fart.
Yes, hers are the worst. Oh my god.
Okay.
Oh, are they the worst?
Confirmed. Confirmed that cats fart. I did not know that. Something else we learned right now on the Jock and Nerd podcast.
Cats fart?
Yeah, right. I didn't know. Who knew?
Audibly?
I wouldn't say audibly. It's you just know.
But you just
it's in the air.
know.
Like Phil Collins.
Oh,
it's in the air
SBD.
tonight.
They got the SBD going. Silent but deadly.
You can hear it calling.
That's what it sounds like when the cat farts. It's the drum break from In the Air Tonight. We actually have a fucking voicemail, everybody. Oh, shit.
What?
Yeah,
Who uses a phone?
I know. Well, he recorded a thing and emailed it over. Here it is.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your old pal, Jimmy the Geek here, longtime listener, Patreon supporter of the Jock and Nerd podcast, going on 5 years of listening to the show. Wow. Thank you guys, as always, for what you do. Haven't reached out in a while, but I'm extremely motivated to do so today because of this fucking movie, Tenet. I cannot get over how frustrating this movie is.
Hell yeah.
I went back and listened to Anthony's review back in September when he saw it. I just got around to watching it last weekend, and I need more, man. I need more analysis. I need you guys to break this thing down. I know, Imran, you said you watched it as well. I don't know if Rug Boy's gotten to it yet, but
Rugs, have you watched it?
What movie?
Tenet, you motherfuck. What are you listening to?
Oh my god.
What movie?
Have you watched it?
No, I haven't. I gotta do it, I guess.
I need therapy for this movie because it was so frustrating. I think Anthony said it best. Nolan was so far up his ass in this movie, man. I am a big Nolan fan. Obviously, love all the Dark Knight trilogy. I enjoyed Inception, Memento, his past films. But this one, man, is just it's one thing to make us think as an audience, but if you're having to look at the plot summary while you're watching the movie and you can't even understand the dialogue because the audio issues, which I actually personally had on my end. I know Imran said he didn't, but I couldn't hear half the dialogue in the movie, so that contributed to my frustration. But I just need more analysis of this movie, man. So if you guys are thinking you want to do one, definitely yes, pursue that. I need it. Therapy. Imran, I've asked for stuff in the past. You've always delivered when I asked for a review, so I'm throwing it out there again, man. I need a review of Tenet whenever you guys can get to it. And
we have to do this to Jimmy. He's in pain. Can't you hear it in his voice?
I feel like God. Like someone's praying to me, and I have to answer his prayer.
We're good.
Have our guests seen Tenet?
Yeah. Oh, we actually talked about this last week on our podcast with Imran.
Oh.
Yeah, I felt like you saved this for us. Like our entire our post show thing for our patrons only is our double jump where we basically dug into Tenet hard.
Oh yeah, and claps for what was it, Jibby? I didn't.
Jimmy the Geek Raven. Yes.
Claps because we have the same opinions.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys agree because I agree with everything Jimmy was just saying.
Yeah, it was. I think about 2/3 through the movie, I looked at Peter and I was like, all right, hear me out. Who was Robert Pattinson in this film?
What the fuck is happening?
It's not a very.
Why are they doing this?
Well written. I sat in an empty theater and I was like, I wish I could ask someone what's going on right now. What did he just say?
Did you hear him? Can we rewind that? There's nobody here.
Why does Nolan keep doing the thing where he does these exposition dumps and people are in one location and the sentence continues and they're in a completely different location?
All the dialogue, it's just exposition. It's nothing but exposition. Every bit of fucking dialogue. Anyways, there's a little bit more from...
I can't wait to watch this movie.
You gotta watch it.
Yeah.
You gotta watch it twice. Also.
I end up liking
you need to watch it twice. All right. Okay, hold on. It's a little bit more.
A quick recommendation for the nation. Go back and listen to the 2019 review of Godzilla, King of the Monsters from these guys. Definitely good prep for the upcoming Godzilla vs. Kong movie. Great review. Went back and listened to that again after just watching the movie last week as well. So awesome work, guys, as always. Keep it up. Jimmy the Geek out.
I'm going to go back and listen to our review, too, because I don't remember what the fuck we said in any of these shows ever.
There you go, Rug Boy. Instead of watching the movie twice, watch the movie until halfway through and then rewind it. and then watch the first half in reverse.
That also works. Yeah,
I'll do it.
Watch it to the middle and then just rewind it and watch it. I don't know.
I'll do whatever you tell me to do.
I think we need to help Jimmy. It's clear he's in pain. We will get in.
I've wanted to talk about Tenet for a while.
All right, I'll watch it. You guys remind me.
Dude, I need to discuss the shit out of this movie. It's so confusing.
I have friends that did enjoy it, and it makes me angry.
As our co-host Chris has said, once he found out that the main character was named protagonist,
he's like, I'm out. His protagonist, I'm out. In fact, I was like explaining it to Chris when we were on, and he's like, after you said inversion, I was out. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
He was looking up anime arcs, I think, on his phone during the episode.
I was like, this movie is trying to do shit. That's not possible.
The one thing I'll give Tenet credit for is, like, Nolan's made it to the promised land, right? Like, he gets an unlimited budget to do whatever the fuck he wants with big studio money on the big screen. Mm-hmm. And
Not
he can have these wild, like this. That's like a director's dream.
Well, he left Warner Brothers now because someone
needed to blame somebody for his movie.
Yeah, why Tenet is confusing. I'll blame Warner Brothers.
Look, we're going into what are we watching, playing, whatever.
Yeah.
And see, if you would have told me to watch Tenet, I would have watched that. But instead, I watched Space Sweepers.
What the fuck is that?
On Netflix. It's a Korean film.
Oh.
It is stupid. Don't watch it. But I was curious to check it out because the production value looked enormous.
Ooh.
I felt like I was watching Guardians of the Galaxy or something.
Holy shit.
It was like really, I'm like, these Korean films are spending shitloads of money on this fucking thing. So I was like, wow. I'm like, why can't Japan make some cool action movies? And because we're always talking about how Japan's Godzilla movies are like so under budget.
Yeah.
I'm like, look at the fucking money they spent on this, or I don't know how they fucking did it, but it's a dumb movie. It's about supposedly a like 4-year-old girl that is a weapon, and everybody's trying to get their hands on her. And
Wanda? Is it Wanda?
Yeah. So that's about basically what's going on, and it's in the future, and people are living. It's like every trope that you can think of, like. There's a world that the people live up in space where all the rich people live and all the poor people are on a shitty Earth. It's like we've seen this before.
Oh, here it is.
Like,
it's number 8 trending in the U.S. today on Netflix.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I watched that.
Okay.
It just was interesting to see the production value. And, I'm like, wow, this is pretty fucking an attempt at like a Hollywood level movie.
On the Netflix. All right. Well, Peter, Katie, I was going to have you shout out some indie games, but Ruggs asked you in the beginning and already.
Well, what else are they watching?
What do you guys watch?
They got a whole stack.
That's right.
No, we have had a whole stack, but lately we've been playing a lot because we started that YouTube channel. But what we actually were playing like just before we started on the podcast here was what was it?
Journey to the Savage Planet.
Journey to the Savage Planet. That's right. It's a lot of fun.
It's super fun. It's a first person adventure. Here, do you guys know what a Metroidvania is?
Castlevania, Metroid,
like a side scrolling 8-bit thingamabobber.
Yes. Well, now Metroidvanias basically refer to games that were inspired by Metroid in the original Castlevania, where you have a whole hub world, and as you unlock certain upgrades, it allows you to, like, you get a double jump. Now you can go to these areas. You get a grappling hook. You can go to these areas. It's a Metroidvania-esque game with a great sense of humor. You work for the 4th best space exploration company.
The 4th.
And you are dropped off as, like, person number 785H285. They just don't give a shit about you. You're just dropped up on this fucking planet. They expected you to die, and there's like, why is there a bunch of sentient life on this planet? Go fucking scan it and try not to die. It's really fun. It has a great sense of humor.
Yeah, it's fun. Every like little like card when you find a new plant or being has a funny little blurb, and it's a really good sense of humor. But in terms of something that we watched very recently, and I say very recently because it was like over the course of 2 days. Have y'all seen Bridgerton?
What the fuck is Bridgerton, and why is it so popular?
What
this
is
fucking
that?
show. What is the deal with this show?
It's basically 1800s porn.
What?
And Gossip Girl.
If you took Gossip Girl and Downton Abbey and married them, that would be this show.
I don't know if the Gossip Girl metaphor is lost in you guys as well. Because I only started watching Gossip Girl recently because of Katie as well, and I'm fucking in love with it.
I was not a Gossip Girl watcher.
Well, essentially, it's all these people living their lives in, this London town or in Gossip Girl, the Upper East Side, and essentially there is a writer or blogger that knows all of the gossip and all of the details of all their lives and publishes I think it's like a weekly newsletter
the
about
society papers
about everyone's business.
Okay.
And somebody in the town is Lady Whistledown, and the Duke has been having affairs.
What a rake!
It's a lot of sex and a lot of angst and
a lot of like 1800s very witty cuts at each other. Everyone's just very. It's great.
I'm in.
Another suggestion of something that of something else we're watching, where we also have been marathoning animes recently.
Cool. Yes. Ruggs loves the anime. Ruggs is the big anime guy here. So you guys
I'm assuming you're watching Attack on Titan.
I watched it when it was on TV back in the day, and then I made it like maybe a season and a half, and then I was like, okay, it's cool. I might go back to it at some point, but I just like hop onto something else. I'm like rewatching Cowboy Bebop. I'm watching this new, this other one called Heroic Age that I haven't seen yet, that I heard a lot about. So, I'm watching like, some older stuff.
Okay. I was showing Katie Yu Yu Hakusho, which is one of my favorite animes growing up.
Which one is that?
Yu Yu Hakusho. It was old, spirit detective, teenage punk kid who gets killed in the first episode. Goes Spirit Gun. It's a shonen anime.
Yeah, it's tournament arc. It's basically like, Naruto with spirits.
Bad guy of the week. When's he gonna do a Kamehameha? Like that's the show.
Fun. But we've been watching Attack on Titan because it's in the final season.
Yeah.
And also Promised Neverland, which is really good.
Yes.
Really dark. And I think it's only gonna be like 2 seasons itself.
What's the elevator pitch for that, for Promised Neverland?
Okay, so I can't give too much away because if I give too much away, it ruins the reveals. But essentially, there's a bunch of kids living in an orphanage, and once they reach a certain age, or it is so decided, they leave the orphanage and they never see them again because they're getting adopted. But there seems to be some dark shit going on, and they start to unravel what exactly is happening on the orphanage.
That could be pretty cool.
And they also they're constantly, because it's again like World War II-esque, that kind of time period that like every anime takes place, where it's like wooden and candlelit and stuff like that.
Yeah, steampunky kind of.
Yeah. Eventually, you start realizing the kids are taking these intense tests on like kind of higher tech tablet kind of things, and you can kind of start telling that these kids are extremely intelligent, and then some extremely stressful things start happening, and these kids are some of the smartest protagonists I've ever seen in any anime.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot of fun.
Wow.
Without giving too much away, it's a lot of fun.
What was that one
put
called?
That one on my list. That sounds like my bag.
What was it called?
Promised Neverland.
Promised Neverland. It's not about Michael Jackson.
No.
Just checking.
No.
Have you watched Hunter x Hunter?
No, that's one that I always hear of, and I haven't watched that one yet.
That's another one of the epic long ones that people keep talking to me about, and I'm like, let me ask someone else if they've seen it.
That and My Hero Academia.
And,
that one I've seen a few episodes.
People trying to get you to watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure also?
Oh, God.
No,
that's Chris's favorite show.
Whenever I talk to anyone who's into anime, I get One Piece, JoJo, and there's one more, I forget, and Naruto I can't stand, so I'm but I'm like, a ninja that's wearing bright orange? No, like, no, I'm sorry.
Could you be any more orange?
Just on principle. Yeah, believe it. No, I don't. I'm not into Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Ohs or anything like that.
You shouldn't be. As someone who is into Yu-Gi-Oh, you shouldn't be.
Yeah, I like the kind of like the old stuff, like Evangelion. I liked all that stuff. Attack on Titan, I really liked it, but I want to go back into it because I kind of felt like I saw it all, but evidently I didn't.
No, you haven't.
Oh, and to throw one more out, sorry if we could keep recommending animes. Fucking Beastars. Have you been watching that also?
Beastars.
No, I've heard things about it.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, I know what it is. Yeah, I've watched the thing. I don't know. I might check that one out.
It's weird, but I liked it.
Yeah.
Full Alchemist is one of my favorite ones too.
That's my favorite one.
So
I love Full Metal.
I want to go back and watch. See, the thing is, I watched them all on TV when they were on. Like this was on Cartoon Network at night or something, Adult Swim.
Yeah, Toonami.
Right.
Yeah, Toonami. And they had like commercial breaks and they were edited, I think. So I was like, I want to see the actual the unadulterated versions of all. So I'm going back and watching a lot of this old shit that was out like 10, 15 years ago.
Nice.
I mean, if you want adulterated versions, I can show you some adult anime. If you
Oh
want.
God, hentai.
All right, Peter. All right, they've heard enough
It's
from
pretty
you.
cool.
Move along.
Tentacles.
Anthony loves hentai.
I
Yes.
don't need to see it.
That gets him excited.
Bible Black. Anyway.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that gets Anthony excited when you say hentai. No, the solid recommendations, though, guys. I know we have a bunch of listeners who dig anime, so I think they're really going to appreciate that. Thank you.
I got something for.
What do you got?
I got something right here.
Yeah.
The person I think you look like.
Oh, is
my
that what?
God.
That's the link in here.
It's in the notes.
Who is this?
Here.
Juliana Giel.
Juliana Giel. Have you heard of her?
No.
No, that's one I've never heard. I got to look it up right now.
Look, it's right. I put it in the.
Let's see.
Yeah.
What is?
Oh, perfect.
What has
Where
she
did you pull
been
this from,
in?
Anthony?
Yeah. How did you get to this obscure person here?
Saw her in Friday the 13th one
shit.
time. I was like, I'm trying to figure out what her name was because I was like, this is the person that I think she looks like.
She does a lot of television. She's in The Resident, Into the Dark. Psych, the movie, The Mindy Project, Rosewood.
I don't see it.
She
Who do you get?
the blonde.
Who do you get?
I just looked at here. I just looked her up on YouTube.
she was in Captain America: Civil War. She's Tony Stark's assistant. A little bit, maybe a little bit.
The blonde.
Little.
She's got big cheekbones, similar to you.
Yeah.
The one that I always get,
What do you get?
without fail, is Miley Cyrus.
Oh yeah.
I always get that one, and sometimes I get Scarlett Johansson, but when she was much younger. Like, they're like, not Marvel Scarlett. Like
Pre-Marvel.
He's just not that into you, Scarlett. I'm like, oh, okay, thanks.
What about Elizabeth Olsen? A little bit, maybe. No.
A little bit of Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, the cheekbones and the chin.
The other lady I thought of was the girl, from Cobra Kai. The girl, but like a younger version of her. The
Elizabeth
mother
Shue.
of Robbie.
Oh,
What's her name?
Robbie Elizabeth Shue. No,
not Elizabeth Shue.
Robbie's mother was. Who was Robbie's mother?
Oh God.
His mom. I don't know what his mom's name.
Looking it up right now.
Robbie.
I just got pictures of Robbie. I'm like, I don't see it.
Michelle Keane?
Yeah, Shannon Michelle Keane.
So who is that actress?
No, that's the actress's name, portrayed by Shannon Michelle Keane.
That's the actress's
a younger
name.
version of her. She looks old there. But,
Oh, okay. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I can see that one.
yeah. So those were the two that I had. But Miley Cyrus, I guess I could see
I
Miley
could see
Cyrus.
Miley. I could definitely see a little bit of Miley.
Not nowadays, but like
You have
Disney
dimples
Channel
now?
Miley.
Yeah.
Huh?
You have dimples?
I do.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't think
That's it.
Miley has dimples.
Now
That's why.
let's do Anthony. Who does Anthony resemble?
Anthony look like? I don't know.
I feel like it's only fair.
You need a couple episodes to think of someone for me.
I didn't stalk Anthony during the show. So
Yeah, we didn't have any stalking time.
I started off stalking Peter because I hadn't seen his face in a long time.
Yeah,
And then from
he
there,
looks exactly the same.
Yeah.
He's looked the same
You
since
don't.
he was 18.
Yes. Yeah. You don't age.
Full on
As
Peter.
a 35, I've looked.
You fuck.
What is Anthony? Do you get any celebrity recommendations?
as a kid, I would get Macaulay Culkin. Except not blonde. And then as I grew older, I would get Jim Carrey.
Oh, really?
Jim
Yeah.
Carrey.
What?
Yeah, I don't see either of them, so I'm just like, oh, whatever. Jim Carrey, sure.
I just get little kids thinking I'm a mascot for a sports team and they want me to take my head off. And then I have to tell them, no. That's why it's my face. It's my face. Peter and Katie, thank you so much for hanging out. You guys are a joy. It was so much fun to hang out with Peter again, and Katie, just lovely. Why don't you tell? I was just on your guys' show last week with Chris, who I also love. Chris, great guy, knows his shit. Can you tell the listeners where they can find all your stuff and maybe what's coming up in the future?
Sure. We are How Do I Jump? You can find us at howdoijump.com. There's links to all that on our website. The podcast is called The Weekly Jump. It's on Stitcher, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and everything.
All those lovely podcast sites.
On Twitter, HD1Jump, HD the number 1 jump. Instagram, HD1_jump. So we have the weekly podcast. We have Patreon exclusive things. If you want to check out our Patreon, patreon.com/howdoijump. We also are doing our current first contest right now.
That's right. The contest is on Patreon, but you do not have to be a patron to enter.
Okay.
We're giving away a chance. Cat just jumped into a plant. Good. A chance to win a Google Stadia Premier Edition.
Oh.
All you have to do is write us a haiku about Google Stadia.
Yeah.
And the winner will be announced on February 18th
Haiku.
on our show.
I don't know why a haiku, Anthony. I can tell your question right now. It's a tradition that started in How Do I Jump? As Anthony was mentioning before, I started How Do I Jump like 7 years ago, and then
35 years ago.
And then I'm an actor primarily, so I was on a cruise ship for a year, and then like some stuff picked up, but Katie and I were able to restart it in the next phase of How Do I Jump, which I think is much more improved.
Something happened.
We have a lot of free time right now.
Something happened and we're not working anymore, and I don't know.
So it was some weird tradition. I don't remember how forever ago when we would get extra keys for games, someone wanted to make a haiku. So it's been a weird tradition that we give out copies of games to the best haiku.
And what's the format of a haiku again, just so we all remember from our...
Yes, it's 5-7-5. So
5
syllables in the first line, 7 syllables in the middle line,
Simple
5
enough.
syllables in the last line.
And it's going until February 18th.
Yes.
Simple enough?
So it's and all you gotta do is write a haiku.
Yeah, just pop it
no
in.
pressure. If you're on the Patreon page and you're like, these guys seem like super cool and I would love to support them, you can do that also while you're there, but you do not have to.
You can have access to my new favorite thing, Fan Fiction Book Club.
That's true.
That's fun.
Imran
yes.
pulled out a great one last week on Fan Fiction Book Club, which was themed Street Fighter.
Yes.
And there was a pretty good fight. Somebody made someone their bitch.
Yep.
It was a joy. We pick fan fiction every week and we just go to town with it.
There were bladder control issues in my story. Oh, it's fantastic.
Yes.
No, you guys, the show is great. I'm so happy to see it come back, Peter, and I will argue that this reboot is better because you have Katie. So fuck you and Chris.
Aww.
I'd argue that as well. I think so too.
That just elevates it.
We're doing a lot
Yes.
more this time around. Like we said before, if YouTube's your bag, we're doing Let's Play series on indie games. And we're just having a lot of fun doing it together. So, and we thank you so much for having us. This was an absolute blast.
Dude,
really great time.
And my pleasure anytime. And the listener can listen to my appearance on your show. It's a soft entry where you can hear me pretend to know things about video games.
Yes, where I just pitched video games at Imran for an hour for him to
and I'm
buy.
like, what is
He
this?
just says they're all great.
No, there was one that was like Wolf Cop of the video game, and it looked like crap.
Yes, Werewolves the Apocalypse Earthblood. That was the clip I had to promote the podcast where Imran was not about it.
It was you become
Real
a werewolf.
quick, what's your opinion on Stadia? Good? Is it a buy? Not a buy? Still not there yet?
I personally have had feelings that game streaming is going to be the next huge thing.
That's the future.
And the person who wants game streaming is a very middle class gamer who wants a high end experience, but doesn't entirely want to buy a $5,000 PC. It is currently the best streaming service that you can do. The library has gotten a lot bigger. It's pretty good. They're you play on your phone, play on your laptop, play on an old shitty. As long as you have a strong internet connection, you're good.
And sometimes not even if you have a strong internet connection.
Yeah,
we were at a hotel once a while back, and we played a game on hotel Wi-Fi. So you can do that.
It's good if you want to pop in. It's also, I think there's a misconception right now because you don't need to pay for it. It's essentially a Steam or something. You buy games on it, and then you can just play them.
Oh,
there is a $10 Premier edition of it that you pay monthly where you can get higher quality versions and deals and stuff. But you could just try it right now. There's some cheap games. Go on Stadia.com, buy a game right now real quick and try it out.
You don't need a controller.
You can use a keyboard and mouse. You can use any controller you plug into your PC.
All you need is a Chromecast and a Dream.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anything that can run Chrome, you can play it on your phone.
Wow. I remember, Ruggs, you turned me on to this, and it's just a fascinating concept. And
I was just waiting and see, because when it came out, I was like, oh, this shit's going to be either going to go bonkers or it's going to completely fail.
I fully played... I've been playing full games on it. I played all of Hitman 2, all of Cyberpunk. We're playing all of Journey to the Savage Planet on it. I'm playing full games on it.
It shot itself in the foot a little bit in the beginning because the library was so limited. But now it's really expanding, and they're starting to do some exclusive, which are bigger budget, bigger names.
Yeah.
So I actually think it's my mind has been changed on it as well. I think it's actually really worthwhile.
I know that Destiny just got on there, and that's one of my major games that I play. And so I'm like, oh, cool! You can play it anywhere.
I'm pretty sure you can transfer over all your information and play it on your phone.
As long as Google continues to support the product, because as you know, they've bailed on many a Google product. That's really going to be it. But I think gaming is a big industry, so they're not dumb.
All right. Well, thanks for all the knowledge.
Yeah.
Freaking, I feel like I've
You can get it
learned
every
something.
Friday morning on the Weekly Jump.
There you go. Ruggs, where can the listener find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at ReallyRugBoy, where I am now currently just retweeting other people's tweets because I'm too lazy to think of anything fun.
That's what you do on the Twitter. Listener, check our show description for links to everything, the Weekly Jump, how to support the show, everything we talked about. And make sure you share this with your friends. Text a person. Text this episode. Jock and Nerd. To someone. To a rando. Thanks for listening to the Jock and Nerd podcast. My name is Imran.
My name's Anthony.
He's the Jock.
He's the Nerd.
We'll peep you next time.